Whether you're a digital nomad who lives abroad and has a home base in one country, or you're a digital nomad who is traveling all the time, or even an aspiring digital nomad getting ready to do this journey, there are certain things that you need in your life. Whether that is for work or your health or your fun social life, there are certain things that are a must have as a digital nomad. I'm Christina, I'm a digital nomad. I quit my job back in 2019 and I have been traveling, working, living abroad ever since. And these are definitely some of the things that are a must have. Things that I wish I would have had in the beginning and things I will make sure I always have no matter where I am traveling or living abroad now as an experienced digital nomad. So let's jump right on into it. Number one, we're gonna talk about gadgets and tech and work because you know what, we're all digital nomads. So we obviously do have to work to actually live this wonderful lifestyle. And there are certain things that I do think are really important to make sure that you have no matter where you are traveling to or living in. So let's jump right in. Number one, get yourself a hard drive. I am telling you, make sure all of your work stuff, if you're a content creator, social media, anything like that, any files you have, say you're a writer, photographer, videographer, whatever it is, get yourself one of these. You do not want to lose all of your work, everything you're doing. God forbid something happens and your computer is no longer in use and you are in a foreign country. You don't want to lose your whole life. This little thing, I think it's like 2 terabytes. I will link it down below for which one I use. It is absolutely amazing. I've had this for years and I haven't had any issue with it. Knock on wood. But this is definitely something I highly suggest. Number 2, if you are traveling a lot or even if you live abroad and maybe you're going out and doing a bunch of things during the day, you absolutely need a power bank. I got this one on Amazon. It's an Anchor one. It works so well. Like, it takes me a full day to charge it, but once it's charged, I can charge my phone, other people's phones. I can charge multiple different items on this for like literally 2 days straight before it ever dies. And there have been many circumstances where I was traveling and my phone died. I needed maps a lot. I was doing different things. I had to be on my phone and I would have been absolutely screwed if I didn't have access to it to get directions, to figure out where I'm going, to contact people, to contact hosts for Airbnbs, a place you're staying. The list goes endless. And even if you're not traveling, I use this all the time in Barcelona because I might be going on a day trip or you might be working at a cafe and they just don't have a lot of outlets and you need to charge something. So this is definitely key. Now this next one I only learned about in the past couple of years, and maybe some people might say like, oh my God, Christina, you should know this. But I didn't, and I didn't realize how useful it actually is. So this plugs into my computer and I have extra USB-C ports. I have 2 USB ports in it. I have an HDMI cable in it. It has helped me so much, especially if you're a content creator taking loads of pictures and videos and things like that. You can actually load all of your stuff into here, and I do it all the time, and it makes my life so much easier. When I used to record podcast episodes, I used to be able to plug in my mic to it. I could plug in my camera to it. I could have my laptop charging at the same time. So it was super easy to have this, and it was so helpful, especially if you have certain things that are USB ports. And now obviously a lot of the MacBooks are only USB-C ports. So this is definitely a game changer. And it is something that I bring absolutely everywhere with me. And I don't know what I would do without it now. And next, this one obviously is basic, but make sure you just always have a charger that has multiple ports. So I got US, we've got Asia and other places. So I can literally use this and plug it into pretty much anywhere I go traveling. So obviously I only live in one place now and I only need the European plug on mine. So as a side tip for anyone who has a MacBook, on your charger, you obviously can take off the part that plugs into the wall. On Amazon, I was able to literally buy the European plug that just slides right into my little power box for my MacBook. It has helped so much because this is obviously so heavy. So plugging this in with the American one into one of these into the wall, sometimes it literally just falls off. So that has been super helpful to get. It cost me like $4 or maybe more. It was like $7. Still very cheap. And I was able to get 2 of them, and it just makes life so much easier. It doesn't fall out of the wall and I don't have to worry about that. So definitely an extra tip for you. And speaking of MacBooks, laptops, those kind of things, I am so happy that I bought Apple Care. So obviously it is different insurance if you have an HP or a different computer that is not a MacBook. But regardless of what type of laptop you have, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you do get insurance. So I actually dealt with something abroad. My screen was going completely pink. I had green lines across it. It was only like 2 years old. I was freaking out. It was severely impacting my work. I couldn't really see the screen really well. I couldn't edit things. It was just absolutely freaking terrible. So I brought my computer to an actual Apple service center abroad, and they were able to take my computer, send it out, get it fixed, and send it back to me within a couple days. And it cost me $0. Brand new screen, which would have actually cost me, I think it was $800 was quoted for, cost me $0 because I have the Apple Care and I pay for it yearly. It is super important to make sure you have insurance on your gadgets. You do not want things to go wrong, and if they do go wrong, at least you can get replacements, you can get things fixed. It just gives you that peace of mind. It might be $150, it might be $200, $300, doesn't matter. I paid $0 for an $800 new screen on my MacBook. So I'm telling you, make sure you insure your stuff, especially abroad. You're moving a lot with your laptop. You're moving around. You're in different locations, different heats, humidities. There might be sand. Who knows? Just make sure you insure it. Trust me on that one. And lastly, in terms of gadgets, this technically isn't an actual physical gadget that you can hold, but I highly suggest if you are traveling a lot to get an eSIM. Instead of having to put a new SIM card in your phone all the time. And if you have an American iPhone 14, the thing doesn't even have a SIM card slot anymore. So you have to use eSIMs. AirAllo is what I have used. I've used it in so many different countries, even including Iraq. And I was able to get service while I'm abroad because it basically gives you an eSIM from a local service company while you're in that country. Super easy setup. I've used it in over 6 or 7 countries now. I even still use it now in Spain, and it has been actually incredible because I don't have to worry about switching out SIM cards. I don't have to worry about trying to get data when I'm in the country. I can just literally go on the app on my phone. I can buy an eSIM package for that country, and I can top it up when it's running low. It just makes it super simple and super easy. So I will link that down below as well, but AirAllo has been a game changer and makes traveling and moving different countries or even just being in country for a while. They have such cheap options for your phone. So definitely check that out. Like I said, there'll be a link below for you to check that out, but highly, highly, highly recommend it. So what are the biggest things that you need as a digital nomad? And this might sound trivial, but honestly, a good mindset. And I know you probably heard 1,000 people talk about mindset before, but coming from somebody who has done this for a long time and knows that there is extreme highs and lows with this lifestyle, even if you're living in the prettiest of places, and even if you are in your dream location, life gets hard. It's just the reality. Sometimes some countries or places might not be what you thought they're gonna be. Maybe you're going through a heartbreak. Maybe you're going through a strained friendship. Maybe you're having a hard time finding connections. Maybe work is driving you absolutely crazy. Look, I've been there. I know what it's like. And I'm telling you, mindset is gonna be one of the biggest things to make sure you can get through this lifestyle and get through the hurdles and bumps, because there will be plenty along the way. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna fuck up. You're gonna have failures. You're gonna have clients who stop working with you or run out of money. You're gonna have things that go wrong. You're gonna get maybe in an accident. You're maybe gonna hurt yourself. Maybe work is really not going well. You financial stress. There's loads of things, family stress at home that you cannot get back and take care of because you're so far away and you feel guilty. The list is endless. As I always like to say, problems still exist in paradise. Dealing with things abroad can feel extremely, extremely lonely, and you might not have a support system to lean on. So you need to figure out how you can build your own support system, whether it be friends who are far away and you FaceTime, whether it be an online community of digital nomads that you've met or chatted to through social media who just understand and get your life. Maybe it's the people around you. Maybe it's going to more digital nomad events. Maybe it is knowing what you need in terms of some self-care. Whatever it is, you need to have a can-do attitude and how I can fix it. And I'm telling you, there's plenty of ways to do it. There's even online help and therapy for digital nomads now. And no matter if your friends or family from home tell you, what are you complaining about? Why do you think you have real problems when you're living in this beautiful dream location? Listen, problems are real. We're all humans. We all feel things. So just know it's okay to not be okay 100% of the time. But it's important to know how to work through that, whether you have friends, a support system, or you're completely alone and figuring it out. And on a last note with the mindset stuff, read books. I read so many books and they've 100% changed my life. Some of my favorites have been You Are a Badass, The Power of One More, Atomic Habits, and then my absolute favorite, which is The Mountain Is You. I'll link them all down below so you can go check them out, but definitely just work on your own personal development mindset because it will be key when it comes to living the digital nomad life. And then for your own lifestyle, well-being, health, all of that, there are two things that I definitely think are really important. Number one is depending on where you're living, say you're living in Southeast Asia or some other countries, you might have a hard time getting in some of your electrolytes or your vitamins or nutrients depending on the diet that you are consuming, depending on what kind of food you like, and depending on where you're living. So what I usually always like to do is carry some sort of electrolyte or vitamins on me, a multivitamin or a daily vitamin. You can even get some liquid IV packets or the little meal bottles that have your vitamins in it. You can get some daily green supplements, but when I was traveling a lot and I didn't have any sort of extra supplements for me, I was really struggling to get some of the nutrients in that I normally consume, and not saying that it's not in some of the food, because some of the food is absolutely so fresh and incredible in these different countries, but if your body's used to certain things, you might want to bring those along with you. So those are some extra little things you could have. But number two, the biggest thing for your lifestyle and health while living abroad as a digital nomad is to make sure you have insurance. And I mean travel, health insurance, all the above. You do not want to find yourself in a situation, I've had friends, I've seen it, who have been stuck with large medical bills from accidents or things that went wrong. I'm talking $50,000 medical bills, $100,000 medical bills. I've seen them. I know the people it's happened to. You don't want to be one of those people. And so one of the best things I purchased as a traveler and a digital nomad, and I've had a great time as a customer using, is Safety Wing. They are the best when it comes to travel insurance, especially for digital nomads, because not only do they have your normal travel insurance, but they also have like an actual remote health insurance for digital nomads who can go and get your primary care checkup and all those types of visits. And so having both options is really great because it allows you to be covered, because unless you have a visa or residency in another country, you don't have access to their public health care, so you will be paying out of pocket. And a lot of the countries, when you're a foreigner or Westerner, they will definitely take advantage of how much they charge you at the hospitals. So you just don't want to be in a case where you are having to take out loans, wiring money, and doing crazy things to be able to just cover your own basic healthcare if you get in an accident or something goes wrong, or you're stuck and have no way of getting money and you can't actually get care. So don't put yourself in those situations, and make sure you are fully covered with some sort of travel insurance. I will link Safety Wings down below as well. They are really incredible. Like I said, I've had a personal great experience using them, going to the doctors for healthcare when I had problems traveling abroad, having reimbursements. Dealing with them has been really, really great. And so I definitely highly suggest it. Because said, one tiny thing that could not even be your fault could end up with thousands of medical bills. And Safety Wings is like $44 a month. So $44 a month to potentially not have to pay tens of thousands of dollars and go in debt definitely is worth it. But these are just a few of the things, like I said, from mindset to actual tech gadgets to lifestyle and health things you should consider purchasing or getting or having while living abroad. And I definitely still use all of them to this day, 4 years later. So I just want to share some tips with you guys and give you some insight into what I think is definitely needed for those who are living and working abroad. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I recently published a video talking about how moving abroad has really impacted my health and overall well-being and happiness. So definitely check that out if you're looking for why moving abroad literally changed my life, and I just love it so much. And if you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to this channel. I absolutely adore and love this community so freaking much. It means the world to me when I get your comments and messages and DMs. I truly can't thank you guys enough for all of the love and support, because I don't know, it always warms my heart and makes my day. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.